Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing great. And this is the last video in the sorting algorithm series. I hope you guys have followed the series and you are clear with bubble, insertion, selection, and merge sort. So let's see what is quicksort. So I will basically give you the crust of quicksort, like what in quicksort we do. So in quicksort, right, we take a pivot element. You call this as pivot element. Okay. So in that pivot element, the left side, all the elements will be less than the pivot element, and all the elements which are right to it will be the greater elements. Okay, then pivots. So once you have done that, after that you will recursively call on this, and you will recursively call on this, which will sort it further. Okay, and you will get the final sorted array. Now the purpose of this pivot is that we have to keep the pivot at the correct position. So our target is that we have to keep the pivot at the correct position. Once pivot is at correct position, which means that all the elements which are less to it are on the left side, all the elements which are greater than it will be on the right side. And once the pivot is at correct position, we will make the two partitions, that is the one half and the other half, and we will recursively call. Okay, so I hope you understood the basic crust of the quicksort algorithm. Let's quickly see how we can dry run it. So let's start. Okay, let's start. So let's quickly do the indexing. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. All right. So yeah. So first of all, whenever we do quicksort, right, we will first of all call the partition function. So what partition function does? In partition function, we will pass the array, which is this array, and we will pass the low and we will pass the high. Okay, low is the lowest index, which is 0, and high is the highest index, which is 4. Okay, so this will be the function call. Now let's see what will happen in this function. So this function will basically give us the partition index. And what is partition index? Partition index is the index where the pivot is stored. That is the final correct position of the pivot. So this partition function, right, will give you the partition index. And when you get the partition index, you will divide and make the recursive. Okay. All right. So let's quickly dry run now. So pivot will always take the pivot, right, as the last element. You can take it as first element also, or any a random element. It's your choice. But I will be taking pivot as the last element. So ARR of high will be my pivot. So here 1 is the pivot, which is ARR of high, because low is what? Low is 0 and high is 4. Then what we will do, we will take two variables. I will be initially low minus 1. So I value will be minus 1. And we will take j, which will start from low. So here j is 0. Okay. Alright. So initially now j is here. So what we have to do is every time we have to compare if ARR of j is less than pivot. Okay. If this is the case. If it is, then we will swap. We'll swap ARR of I with ARR of j. But before doing that, we will increment I by 1. We will increment I by 1. Okay, and then we will swap. So let's see. Here ARR of j is 5 and this is our pivot, right? And this is our pivot. So 5 is less than 1? No. So it's not the case. So we'll just move forward. J will move forward. Now 2, is it less than pivot, which is 1? No. So we'll just move forward. Okay. Again 4, is it less than pivot? No. So we'll just move forward. and then j will go here. Is 3 less than pivot? No. So just we have done the iteration. So after the iteration, right, once the iteration is done, here it will come. Once the iteration is done, at last, you will swap ARR of I plus 1 and ARR of I, which is your pivot. You remember, pivot was ARR of I at last. So ARR of I plus 1, I is minus 1 plus 1, which is ARR of 0, that is 5. You will swap it with pivot, which is this. So these two you will swap. Then your array will become what? Array will become 1, 2. Okay. Array will become 1, 2. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 4, 3, and 5. Alright. This will be your array after you have done the swapping. And your pivot index will get returned. So then your pivot index will be returned from the function. So pivot index will be I plus 1. Right. So I plus 1 was this 0. So 0 index will be returned. Okay. Now let's see how further this will get evaluated. So once your pivot index as 0 is returned, right? Now you will do, so this is your pivot, right? So if you see on the left side, everything is smaller than it, and on the right side, everything is greater. Now once this is done, right, we will break the problem into two partitions, if you remember. One partition will be from low to pi minus 1. Another will be from pi plus 1 to r. Now you might be wondering why we are not considering pi itself, partition index, because we have already placed the correct value there. So we do not need to consider it again. Now L will be 0. Pi minus 1, that is 0 minus 1, which is minus 1. So this is invalid because low is greater than high, right? So it's invalid. So this call will not be there. Only this call will be there, which is pi plus 1. So your low will become what? Pi plus 1. Pi is 0. 0 plus 1, 1. And high will be r, only 4. So let's now see how this will go. Okay, I'm just removing this array now, because now this is the array which is our final array, which is 1, 2, 4, 3, and 5. Okay, all right. Now, I is equal to low minus 1. So, low is what? 1. So, I will become 0, and j will start from low. So, low was 1. So, j will start from this. Now, pivot element. Again, we have to choose. So, pivot element will be ARR of high, which is 5 now. Okay, and now we will start the iteration. So, j will be here. J value is less than the pivot value. Yes. So we will increment I. I will become 1. And we will swap I and j. So I and j are same index only. So no need to swap. Okay. If you swap also, it will be same only. So there is no effect. Now j will move forward. J will become 2. J will come here. So 4 is less than 5 again. So we will increment I and we will swap ARR of I and j. So 2 and 2 again. So no effect. We will move j forward. Now j is again less than the pivot. So you will increment I and your j. You will increment I. Okay. And j is already 3. So it's no effect again. And you have done the partition. You have just traversed it. And at last you have to sorry, you have to swap ARR of I plus 1. So I plus 1 will be 4 with high. So high is also ARR of 4 only, which is 5. So this is the pivot and it's at the correct position now. If you see, all the elements which are less than pivot are on the left side of it, and there is no element which is on the right side of it, which is greater than it. So this pivot is again now at the correct position. So from this partition function, what the pivot index will be returned? It will be returned 4. Okay, I hope you understood this. Now again, let's see how this part of the will get sorted. Okay, so now let me just erase this. Pivot index came out to be 4. Now there will be two partitions again. Low was 1. Okay, low was 1. So now if you remember, it was from low to pi minus 1 and pi plus 1 to high. So it will be low as 1 and high as pi minus 1, which is 3, and low will be pi plus 1, which is 5, and high will be 4. But now this is low is greater than high, so this will be no effect. This is the current range now, that is from here to here, which you have to consider. Okay, now let's traverse that. Okay, so low is 1 and high was 3. Okay, now the pivot index will be ARR of high, which is high is 3, so it will be 3, and I is equal to low minus 1, that is I will become 0 and j will be low, which is 1. So j will be here. So we will see 2 is less than the pivot element 3, yes. So we'll increment I and we will swap ARR of I and ARR of j. So it will at the same index, so no effect. We go forward. J will come here. Now 4 is greater than the pivot element, yes, so we will not do anything. We'll just move forward. Okay, j will move forward. J will become 2. Sorry, j will become 3. J will come here. Now 3 is less than 3, no. So nothing will happen and we will just move forward. So we have traversed it. Now at last we have to swap ARR of I plus 1. I plus 1 is 1 plus 1, 2. That is ARR of 2. We have to swap with ARR of high, which is 3. So this will get swapped with this because this is the correct position of the pivot. So now our array will become 1, 2, 3 and 4 will get swapped and last 5. Okay, so if you see now, we are done with the iteration and the pivot index came out to be I plus 1, which was 2. So this is the pivot index now. If you again see now, what will be the two calls? One from 1 to 1, that is L to pi minus 1, and other from pi plus 1, that is 3 to high, which is 3. So it's the same element only. So you can just simply return. And at last, if you see, your array is sorted. So I hope you understood this approach. First of all, we find out the pivot index and partition index. And once we got the partition index, we make the two recursive calls to one low to pi minus 1 and other from pi plus 1 to r. Okay, I hope you understood. Let's quickly see the code. So if you see quicksort, we are calling with low and high. If low is less than high, then we find out the partition index and then we call recursively quicksort from low to pi minus 1 and from pi plus 1 to high. Let's see what the partition function is doing. So we take pivot as the last element and we initialize I to low minus 1. So if you remember, same thing we were doing. We were initializing I to low minus 1 and then we go from low to high. If the element is less than equal to pivot, we increment I and we swap it. And at last we swap the pivot with the I plus 1 because I plus 1 will be the correct position of the pivot. and we return the correct position of the pivot, which is a partition index. So I hope you understood the problem and the approach. The time complexity of this algorithm is O of n log n, same as merge sort, but it's more efficient than that. And space complexity, if you see, we are not using any extra space, right? We are just iterating in the current area which is given to us. So it will be constant. So I hope you understood the problem, the algorithm, and you are having some understanding. I would highly recommend just try it on yourself. And if you have any doubts, you can let me know in the comments. If you found the video helpful, please like it, subscribe to my channel, share with your friends, and thanks for watching. Bye.